Okay, this is the P1 paper from October 2023. It's question number 2. It's algebraic expressions. We're going to be looking at indices, and in particular, we're going to have some negative and fractional indices to work with. So let's have a look at the question. Part A says, given that we've already got that A is equal to 1 over 64x squared and B is equal to 16 over root x, can we find various different things? Part A then says, can we find a to the power of a half, which is 1 over 64x squared, all to the power of a half. And we're going to be jumping backwards and forwards, aren't we, between power of a half is the square root. So if I've got the square root of that, you can just say square root of x squared is going to give me x, and the square root of 64 is going to give me 8. Alternatively, you could have said 2 times by a half, which would give me x to the power of 1, and you could have done 64 to the power of a half on your calculator. But either way, part A isn't a particularly stretching question, but they do get a little bit harder. Part B then says that we've got 16 over b cubed. Now I'm going to do this quite slowly. You might actually do it a little bit quicker than me when you're doing it, but I'll put in every step I can think of here. 16 over x cubed then is going to be 16 over, well, I'm just going to put divided by because of the layout I'm going to use, over b cubed, so it's over 16 over root x cubed. So that's 16 divided by, I'm just going to focus on the bit in the brackets first of all. Well, as I said just 2 seconds ago, square root is the same as to the power of a half, so you can write it like that. Then we can actually multiply out that bracket, so we get 16 divided by... Now, I'm not going to do 16 cubed yet, I'm just going to leave it as 16 cubed in case things cancel, which they will do. And then if I'm multiplying a half by the 3, I'm going to get x to the 3 over 2. So as I say, taking quite a few steps here, you might just shorten some of them. If you divide by a fraction, it's the same as multiplying by that fraction turned upside down. So that's the next step that I'm going to do. Now I'm going to cancel out these 16. 16 over 16 cubed is going to give me x to the 3 over 2 over 16 squared. And then finally, just tidying that up to the neatest possible version I can get is x to the 3 over 2 over, and then 16 squared is 256. So it asked me to do everyone in the form kx to the power of n, which is what I've got here for both that one there and that one there. Let's have a look at part C. So part C, what does it ask me to do now? It says, okay, AB divided by 2 all to the power of minus 4 over 3. So you've seen the way I did that last one. I'm going to do this quite slowly. When you've seen what I've done, if you want to try and shorten some of the steps, you can do. But I'll do it to the simplest format I can do. So A is 1 over 64 x squared. 1 over 64 x squared. B is 16 over root x. I've not changed anything there yet. I've just left those both in the form that they are. It's that divided by 2, all then to the power of minus 4 over 3. So all I'm going to look at is just tidying up this top bit here first of all. So if I'm doing that, 16 over 64, I can tidy those two bits up. 16 divided by 64 is going to be a quarter, so I've got a quarter. And then I've got x squared here, divided by x to the half, divided by square root of x. That means subtract the 2 powers there. So squared, or 2 take away 3 over 2, is going to leave me x to the 3 over 2 there. So it's that, all divided by 2 to the power of minus 4 over 3. Yeah, now I know that I could have called that an 8th straight away, but I'm just going to do it nice and slowly. So then that's x to the 3 over 2. A quarter then divided by 2 is going to give me 8 there to the power of minus 4 over 3. And then when we're looking at those, you can use your calculator, you can do an 8th to the power of minus 4 over 3. If you do that, that works out to be 16. And then with the x to the 3 over 2 multiplied by minus 4 over 3, just multiply them out, works out to be 16x to the minus 2. And then that's our answer in the correct format that we wanted as well. So, yeah, not the easiest, especially as it's only for 4 marks there. So I've taken a long time just because I'm explaining it to you guys. I might have taken a few shorter steps if I was doing it on my own and I was under time conditions. But hopefully that all makes sense to you all.